Most real estate investors never scale because they don't know what the business is supposed to look like at each level. So today I'll show you exactly what to focus on, whether you've done a deal, you're at 2 or 3 deals a month, or you're scaling your own mini empire. So in this video, we'll go from stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 3. What are the tools you're going to be using? What are the daily activities you're going to be working on? What does your team look like? And what is the overall objective at each stage? Let's get started. So we're going to focus on 3 different stages. Stage 1, solo operator. This is someone that their identity right now is a learning mode. They're right at the beginning, they haven't done a deal, or maybe they do a deal on occasion, but it is not regular. What is this person's focus? The focus needs to be, we're doing one list. I'm going to start with pre-foreclosures in this situation. One list. Our second focus, what is that going to be? I want that second thing to be 1 to 2 marketing channels. It's easy when you're new to get caught up in the glitz and glamour of all the automations and having a perfect business and doing all of the different marketing channels, including SMS, email, direct mail, door knocking, etc. You want to do all of them, but what does that do? It ends up making you do none. You need to choose 1 or maybe 2 that complement each other and get very good at those things. Get those first couple deals under your belt. Get that proof of concept in your mind. I typically recommend door knocking if you're able to do an in-person business, and complement that with either SMS or cold calling. Okay? Don't feel like you have to do all the others. Don't let perfection get in the way of progress. I want you to choose one list. I recommend starting with pre-foreclosure. As we get into further stages of your entrepreneurship, we can add more, but don't feel like you have to do so much at the beginning. Second, choose the type of marketing that you want to do. Do not try to add too much too quick. Again, I recommend door knocking and then a complementary other marketing method such as SMS or cold calling. Now, let's focus on what your tools will be. A lot of you, when you're brand new, you're going to want to focus on your website and your CRM and all the different technology pieces. Again, your identity is learning mode. You want to go out and do and talk to sellers, but you do need some light automation. So what are your tools? You need to go by 1 county or 2 counties max of niche data. If you didn't know, niche data has automated pre-foreclosure data in all the counties across the country. We update this every day from 6 different layers of county data. You'll get your updated foreclosure information every single day. You'll get all that information skip traced, including all of the seller contact information and all of the relative contact information. You do not want to be stuck in that $10 an hour task of getting data yourself or hiring a virtual assistant and have to manage them. Guys, we've done it for you. This is the best data in the industry. You just need 1 county of data to get started. If you would like, you can go up to 2. Okay, your second tool, you are either going to do a Google Sheets empire, which is what I used for my first $1 million plus in foreclosures. Do not feel like you have to go do the really fancy, expensive CRM. You do not need to. Or if you want to get a cheap CRM out there, that's completely fine. But guys, you do not need the Ferrari. This is the beginning of your journey. You do not need to spend a bunch of money. Again, my first $1 million, writing down addresses off of auction.com, going around and door knocking houses, talking to people, getting better at that conversation. Don't overthink it. Okay, so the tools you need as a solo operator, you need to get your niche data. You can get that at nichedata.ai, and you need to establish some system on Google Sheets or a really cheap CRM. Find that $50 to $100 one a month. Hey, next, after tools, we are going to do our daily activities. Your goal as a solo entrepreneur is to gradually strip away any of that less than $100 an hour activity, and focus on that. You only have so much time, and you only have so much human capital. You have to spend this prospecting to sellers, talking to sellers, solving their problems. That is how you scale your business at this stage. And on your daily activities, I want you to spend 3 hours on outreach. This can either be going out and door knocking, this can be making calls, this can be sending texts. I don't care what marketing method you choose. You just need to do at least 3 hours of it. Do not feel like you can do just a very small amount of marketing. You're new. You don't understand how to cater to these clients. You must get out there and get the reps in. Then you need to spend 1 hour a day on learning and role playing. Guys, in the niche list space, the conversation is critical. Your ability to connect with a seller, your ability to overcome their objections, your ability to know your product like the back of your hand so that you can solve their problem and convert that lead. Do not feel like this 1 hour of role playing and learning is wasted. This is where you get that 1%. This is where you gain the edge. You must spend your time doing this. And lastly, I want you to spend 1 hour following up. The old ism in sales, the fortune is in the follow-up, and the same is true for niche lists. You must continue to follow up. You're obviously going to have some that are low-hanging fruit. They're going to sign right away, and that's great. Okay? But the majority of these folks, you're going to have to follow up with them over and over and over and over. Now, to further break down your daily activity, as a solo entrepreneur, you cannot focus on every single lead. You will get hundreds, if not thousands, a month in your market. So here's the filter for you brand new people, you solo operators. Number one, and you can do this in nichedata.ai, by the way. I want you to do the leads that have 100K plus in equity. That's number one. Number two, this sounds a little bit morbid, but I want you to look for the properties that have some type of someone passing away, or you can find an obituary, or you can find a probate record. Okay? If someone has passed away, there's already going to be detachment from the property. There's already going to be opportunity in terms of someone wanting to sell it. And many times, the people that have passed away are just ready to move on and you can solve their problem. Okay? Lastly, you want to identify these properties that are vacant. In any market, at any given time, if you filter down $100,000 in equity, there's a probate record or an obituary, someone has passed away, and the property is vacant, there are about 20 to 40 or more opportunities at any given time. These are the money shots for people that are solo operators. These are the deals that can make you $20, $40, $100,000 plus, and you only focus on finding the best opportunities, not the ones with low equity, the ones with large equity, so you can build that cash machine. That way, when you get to further stages in your business, you can invest back in it. So to recap for the solo operator, again, your identity is learning mode. Your focus is on one list, pre-foreclosures. You choose at most 1 or 2 channels to market. Where in 1 county or 2 counties max, you're going to use nichedata.ai for your tools. You're going to either use Google Sheets Empire or a light CRM, 3 hours a day on outreach, 1 hour a day on learning and scripting, and 1 hour a day on follow-up. Then what does your team look like? You don't have a team yet. It's just you. Maybe you have a VA or something like that. But again, your objective in this phase is to get your first 1 to 3 contracts under your belt, to get these closed, to learn, understand what sellers respond to, understand what buyers want. You want to get to this point as quickly as possible, and the way you're going to do that is to take action in your daily activities. So again, this is the solo operator. Hey, now, for those of you that aren't newbies, you're tired of me talking about the newbies, you're ready to move on. There's a lot of you who are in that stage 2. Now, what again is that stage 2? It's the consistent closer. Okay? What is the identity of the consistent closer? That person, their identity is to be a system builder. You've done some deals. You understand what works. You've started using tools. You've learned scripting. You understand how to talk to sellers. Now you have to put that into a system that you can teach someone else. Okay? So what is our focus? What is our focus as a consistent closer? The focus is going to now be on multiple counties. Okay? You might be expanding to more of your MSA in your market. You might be expanding to multiple lists. So in the last one we talked about pre-foreclosure. Well, maybe you add in probate or notice of default or another niche list in your market. Okay? And then our other focus is consistent marketing. Can we figure out some automations to get some of this marketing going out so I don't personally manually have to do it every day? Okay, so here we go. We're going to go to tools now for the consistent closer. What are the tools for the consistent closer? Number 1, you're going to get niche data for 5 counties. Okay? Most MSAs have about 4 to 5 main counties that investors want to buy in. They regularly want to buy there. You can find buyers out the wazoo. So go ahead and invest into 5 counties of niche data. This will give you all the pre-foreclosure data that you could need in your market updated daily. Number 2, when you invest into 5 counties of data, you'll also get the niche community. Obviously, as a consistent closer, you've seen a thing or two. You've come across a lot of situations, but you're still new to the whole industry. You don't know everything. You need to sharpen your axe. This community is the best community on planet Earth in terms of learning niche lists, how to grow yourself and sharpen your axe, because we all know the difference between a deal and not a deal is very, very small. This community is what's going to put you over the edge from doing that deal sometimes to doing regular deals once a week, twice a week, or more. You're also going to invest into lead flow and automation. So there are many tools out there that you can automate a lot of your marketing, notably niche CRM, which is going to come out very soon. This is the type of person that's going to invest in these things to where you can start automating your direct mail. You can start automating your texting or your email to where you have that drip going out and you start having more opportunities to speak to sellers. Okay, now we already went through the solo entrepreneur and what their daily activities looks like. But what does the consistent closer spend their time doing? At this stage, you're probably going to still be doing a lot of the sales, but you're also going to be managing people perhaps. This might be the stage where you start to hire, okay? So you're still going to be doing 2 to 3 hours of prospecting. But you might also turn into someone that starts to hire. Okay, so you might spend an hour a day seeking talent. Guys, what determines the ceiling on your business? Talent on your team. So this might be the time that you are starting to hire your first door knocker. Maybe you're hiring a couple of VAs that are cold calling and texting. So you're going to have to start learning about leadership. And this is the time to start building your knowledge base around that. You're also going to be system building for about 2 hours. So we have a nice balance of where we're still prospecting and we're bringing in leads at this consistent closer stage because you're probably the best closer on your team. But we also have to start thinking about bringing in talent and what that looks like and how an A player can impact your business. But of course, to keep those A players, we have to build systems around it so that they are set up for success. Now, after our daily activities, what do our teams look like? Now, this is a little bit different for everyone, but you might have one VA. Maybe that person handles lists or basic admin tasks, or maybe they're doing some cold calling and texting for you. But a lot of you will have one virtual assistant that you're using. This may be the time where you have your first acquisition person. Maybe this person's a door knocker, a full-time cold caller, or they're following up on all your prospects and leads from nichedata.ai. But you have your first person that you can work with on your acquisition, maybe delegate some of those appointments to. They can shadow you, and at quite possibly, you might have your first transaction coordinator. If you start getting into that 2, 3, 4, 5 deals a month range, you're going to have to start having a lot of transactions, a lot of conversations with sellers, a lot of admin tasks that are going to need to be taken care of. A quality TC is where you would want to start on that. Okay? And lastly, what is our objective at this consistent closer phase? Our goal is to be consistently generating in that 50 to 100K range. This gets it to where you're able to regularly pay yourself. You're able to regularly pay your staff. You're starting to be able to invest more into your systems and processes and technology. Our goal is to do 2 or 3 deals, maybe about 25K a piece, to where you land in this zone regularly and you have some disposable income to keep improving your business. And once you have gotten to that point, you've done about 6 months consecutively of this at least, we can move on to the last phase. And don't feel like you have to go to the last phase. There's a lot of you who may be absolutely thrilled sitting in this consistent closer zone to where you have a lot of income and you can spend your life the way that you want to. Don't feel like you have to move on to the last phase, but for the rest of us, for the ambitious, we will go over, whoa, watch out, knock over my cup, the scaled operator. Okay, the scaled operator, what is your mindset? You are a CEO, you are a manager, you are a builder of people, you are a builder of culture. Okay, and what is your focus? Your focus is to scale your marketing. Your goal is to replace yourself in the day-to-day, and your goal is to grow teams and systems to where you could potentially go on a beach vacation for a week and you come back and, hey, the system and the team's doing great without you. Now, what are the tools? You have 10 plus counties of niche data. Number 2, you have fully implemented niche CRM with automations for your text, your email, your direct mail. You have your routes set up for all of your door knockers to where all this marketing is going out and the team is just really dialed in because you've invested some money into that niche CRM. You also have your KPI dashboard completely dialed in to where every employee on your team has a number. They know how many marketing activities they're supposed to do. They know how many appointments they're supposed to go on, how many contracts they're supposed to get, how much revenue they're supposed to bring in. You have it all measured, and you are having weekly meetings to go over this type of stuff. Now again, you've reached a new level of scaled operator. So your daily activities are also going to vary. So what are your daily activities? You're acting as a CEO, so you are hiring. You're working on partnerships. You're working on big deals. So just because you sit in the seat now doesn't mean that your team doesn't look to you to make decisions. So there's going to be a lot of deals where maybe you need to give your input to push that deal off the fence and gone your way. Maybe you need to make some big decisions in terms of the strategy. Okay, so that will be your place. You'll also be reviewing metrics and dashboards. So perhaps every day you're having a meeting with your sales team or anyone in your company, making sure they're adhering to their key KPIs. So it will be your job to identify and enforce those. You're also going to have weekly meetings with your teams. Okay? You still have to establish that you are a training company. You have to establish that your culture is to continue to improve. So you've got to get in front of your people, teach them. You've got to get in front of your people and remind them of the vision of the company. Again, your role is changing as the scaled operator. And lastly, you're creating content for your specific market to get some more authority in the space. So maybe you're having in-person meetups. Maybe you're having lunches with other operators in the market, or maybe you're meeting with new wholesalers to get them to bring you deals. You are just networking and creating yourself as the authority in the space. Now, what does your team look like? At this point, you have a fully built out team, maybe 2 to 3 acquisition agents at this point. You also might have one lead manager or follow-up specialist, whatever you might call that person. You will have a full-time cold caller. You'll have a transaction coordinator. You very well may have even a sales manager to manage all these people so that you can focus on that CEO type stuff. And then lastly, if you really want to go to the next level, you might even hire a researcher. This is a position that I'm particularly excited about because I love high equity, vacant properties of people that have passed away. And a lot of times these heirs or the person that can buy the house is very difficult to get a hold of. So this researcher, you find those vacant properties, you find those high equity opportunities, they are finding that person and driving that opportunity back to the acquisition agent. Okay? So your team might be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. So you might have a 6 to 10 person team. And again, you have your ear close to the business. You're watching it closely to see your metrics, making sure your revenue matches. You don't want to over leverage. Okay? A lot of these companies, they work best on about 6 to 8 people. So any more than that, make sure that you're the leader and the operator that can actually handle that. So again, what is the objective for a scaled operator? Your goal is consistent 250K plus months. Okay? And your goal is also to have a self-managing team. Now, does that mean it's completely passive? Absolutely not. This means that you can go on a vacation, or you could potentially go away for a month and things will continue to run. You will obviously need to keep interacting with your people or slowly things will fade off, but you want to have A-level talent, people that will continue to improve your business whether you're working or not. So guys, I hope this video has brought you some value. Hopefully you see what the business looks like, whether you're a solo entrepreneur or you're a consistent closer or you're a scaled operator, that there's something for you. If you're brand new, we've got niche data for you so that you can regularly be talking to sellers and stop doing that $10 an hour work. If you're someone that has started doing regular deals and you want to scale your data that you have and get in with a community of people, the niche community can be for you so you can sharpen your axe. And if you're looking to scale your operation, we have niche CRM and other products that can allow you to automate all of your marketing and scale your deals to the moon. Guys, the niche ecosystem has something for everyone. So down in the comments, I want you to put what level you are. I want to hear about you and your business. And if you're interested in working with Niche, check out the link in the description. We would love to work with you and get your business to the next level. I will see you on the next one.